We are ready for some Q&A. I'm going to give it a second. If you have any questions, excuse me, please put them into the Q&A box below. And I also wanted to mention that we've covered some great high-level information today on combining Oracle virtualization and LINBIT software-defined storage. But if you would like to learn more and you have additional technical questions, you want to have technical discussions with either team or even a joint session, please reach out to your Oracle or LINBIT sales rep and we can make that happen. Our teams are currently working really closely together, helping organizations make the switch to Oracle virtualization and LINBIT, and we're seeing some great success. So we're really excited to continue doing that and spread it amongst the marketplace. So it looks like we have some questions coming in here. Let those file in. And we did have one that was answered. I just wanted to call out, thanks for the question, Pedro, and thanks for the answer, John. He asked about how he can access Oracle virtualization if he wants to test and evaluate it, and it is freely available. John posted some links to documentation there where it is available, so I just wanted to call that out. But let's go ahead and start with Michael's question here. So Michael's question is, Marcos, you mentioned that through the Oracle Linux Virtualization API or third-party technology that uses it, there are some migration tools, and that implies some ways to migrate away from the VMware platform. Where might someone get started learning about those tools, and is there one or more tool that might be recommended specifically for a VMware migration use case? And then there is one more related question. How does the LINBIT SDS storage solution figure into that migration plan? So I'll let you start that, Marcos, and then maybe if someone from LINBIT wants to join in around migration.
Sure. Thank you, Ryan. The migration process starts by reading all the information that comes from VMware and creating the same counterparts into OLVM. You have two paths to follow. The first one is called the code migration or an offline migration. The source VM must be powered down, and you use tools like virt-v2v from the command line or the OLVM web interface. From the OLVM web interface, you can use the same import proxies as you have from the command line. Two main differences between them. The command line, using the command line, you can add VDDK library from Broadcom that speeds up the transfer for virtual disks really extremely fast, making it really extremely fast. Using the web interface, that integration is not possible. Both of them are offline migration. Power off the VM, source VM, make the importing proxies, run importing proxies, then start it on OLVM side. For the live migration, which is also possible, you have at least two solutions. Both of them are provided by Oracle partners. One is the cloud-based Coriolis, and the other is the Aquare Cloud Motion. Both of them are able to copy all the virtual disks from the remote instance, so it reads everything from VMware, transfer to OLVM, and in the end, you face just a small gap, a small hiccup, pointing off on VMware, pointing up the resulting instance in OLVM. It takes longer than the offline method, but it's completely feasible and it has a extremely reduced downtime. There is an Oracle article in the blogs oracle.com describing how to use the command line importing proxies. We'll share the link later. And back to you, Ryan, if we can answer the next part of the question.
Yes, the last part for the LINBIT team was how does the LINBIT SDS storage solution figure into that migration workflow?
Okay. Then I take it.
Think so.
I think in the described migration workflows, LINBIT SDS is just active on the OLVM side, and the image gets copied in the migration process. So that's about it.
Just to add to your comment, Philip. Yes, and from my perspective, from the OLVM perspective, it will be the destination storage domain, and we receive the new virtual disks that are being uploaded in the migration process. I think that one of the best options here is that the disks will be written locally to the host running the importing process. And then the replication process takes place just to replicate it across other nodes. Am I correct?
Yes, the replication on the LINSTOR side, DVD side, that is completely transparent. So
Perfect. Thank you
I
both.
think conceptually it's really not going to be much different than creating a new VM with new allocated storage. Essentially the same thing, just you're doing a lab migration as well.
Perfect, perfect. All right, we will check that one off. Thank you so much for the question, Michael. Next, we're going to move on. This one is, I believe, for the LINBIT team, but like whoever can chime in. It says, say we had 10 hosts and each had 9 disks participating. How do you guys handle disk failure on one of those hosts? I feel like they're asking about how we would handle local disk failure here.
right. So when you set up the LINBIT storage system, you have to decide about the failure domains regarding physical storage devices. So there is a certain trade-off, right? If you go for a bigger failure domain, in other words, you use all the 9 disks and put them into a single volume group, then you would lose all the replicas on one machine in the moment of a physical disk failure. If you take another trade-off and make that 3 volume groups, then you would just lose a smaller part. But losing a replica, that's not a catastrophe. This is what DVD and LINSTOR are there for. So when LINSTOR realizes, okay, I lost a volume group on one of my physical machines, it will allocate new replicas on other machines, replicate them again, and restore the configured target replication count you want to have. And that LINSTOR does this automatically is also a policy that's up to you. So what I want to express with that, if you do maintenance on one of your machines, LINSTOR will not immediately kick in and create new replicas just because you do maintenance on your machines.
Perfect.
Okay, I hope this answers the question. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Phil. No worries. All right, let's mark that one completed. Next up, we have a question from Angus. Thank you for the question. He said, hi, I think I missed, but is the LINSTOR solution running on the KVM hosts?
Yes. So the LINSTOR solution consists of 2 parts, LINSTOR and LINSTOR, that's the control plane, and DVD, that's the data plane. And yes, it runs on the KVM hosts. It runs natively on the host kernel, the DVD part, and the satellite processes run natively on the host machine as processes there.
Perfect. Thank you, Phil. Leandro, I can actually answer this question. The question was, how do you get access to LINBIT SDS to test and evaluate on your OLVM environment? And that is something that I can help with. I'll follow up post-webinar. We do offer free trial accounts to test out our software. Much like John shared in the answer to his question, you can have access to our repositories as well as some access to support while you test. So I will be sure to reach out and get that set up for you post-webinar. So thanks for the question. We just have a few more coming in here. Thank you so much, everyone. Is there a plan to upgrade OLVM to Oracle Linux 9?
I'll take this. And yes, we are working on the upgrade path to Oracle Linux 9, including a seamless upgrade path from Oracle Linux 8 to 9 for Kv hosts. And in the future, the full solution will be running on Oracle Linux 9. Unfortunately, no ETA so far, but we are working that.
Awesome. Thank you, Marcos. And another question here from Angus. What is the minimum number of hosts for the LINSTOR solution?
Yes, the minimum is 3.
That was 3 hosts. Got it. All right, I'll give it another second here. If anybody has a last minute question, feel free to drop that there. But while I am doing that, I just wanted to say one more thank you to everyone who joined us today. Thank you to all the presenters from the Oracle and the LINBIT teams. We will be sending out a recording of the webinar shortly, as well as following up with all the registrants if there are additional questions or wanting to do POCs, evaluations. We are here to help. Like I said, we're working really closely with the Oracle team. We can have a joint session, and we'd be happy to help answer more questions and see how we can help. Looks like we just have a thank you so much from Angus. So thank you very much, Angus, for that. Thanks for the great questions. And with that, I think we can call it a success. Thanks, everyone.